Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Scarfinger, and this is Scarcasm. No yays? No nothing?
What's up, man? What's up, people?
You sound like really sleepy. Are you sleepy?
I mean, I could be sleepy, but I'm not. I'm good. We good. It's Scarcasm. Woo!
It's kind of too late for that now. Okay, so prior to the show starting, you started telling me about Saints Row 2, right?
Yeah.
Here's my problem with Saints Row 2 on PC. One problem is, unless you install the Gentleman of the Row mod, you do not have controller prompts at all. So even if you're playing with a controller, what shows up on the screen is the buttons to press, the keyboard buttons to press. So like you walk up to a door, and even though you're using a controller, it says like press E to open the door, which is a complete pain.
That's how Borderlands 1 is. Like, it has the controller support and everything, but it still shows the prompts. And I mean, I'm fine with keyboard and mouse, but there's certain games it's just, I started there. It just feels right to play with a controller. But since it's a game that I know the controls, I'm not going to be like, what is E? I know that picking up stuff is, X or something. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's
okay. Here's the second problem.
Okay.
The second problem is, when I play Saints Row, I use two different controller profiles depending on whether I'm driving or if I'm riding. If I'm driving the car, or if I'm riding in the passenger seat or somewhere else, I use two completely different controller profiles. Well, the PC doesn't have those controller profiles. I could, when I'm on the Xbox or the PlayStation, I use like the controller setup 1 if I'm driving, because I use the triggers to drive. Mm-hmm. But if I'm the passenger, I use the triggers to shoot. So I just, pause the game, switch to controller setup 3, and then I switch it back when I'm doing the other thing. Well, you can't really do that in the PC version. You have to remap every single button, which is a complete fucking pain in the ass. So that means either I have to... So it pretty much means that I have to drive with the face buttons, which fucking sucks. No one wants to drive with the face buttons after the 360 era, 360 and PS3 eras where you drive with the triggers. Like, who the fuck wants to drive with the face buttons anymore?
Right.
Who wants to accelerate with A? You know what I mean?
Is that how the game controlled on the Xbox?
I think one of the controller profiles is that. Yes.
Well, you can probably switch up the profile, right?
No, you can't do that on PC. You have to remap every button. You have to go in.
It was like easy mapping to where you can just like
not in that old game. Trust me, it doesn't even have controller prompts unless you install Gentleman of the Row.
Does Gentleman of the Row fix everything? Does that mod fix everything?
It doesn't fix everything. It fixes a lot, and you can add a lot to the game. But here's the weird thing about Gentleman of the Row. What you do is it pulls up like a DOS program where you go in and you tell it all of the stuff that you want it to add to the game. Like you can add Microsoft controller prompts, or you can add Sony controller prompts. You can do like weird stuff. Like, for some reason, when I first did it, I turned on the fact that when you are just walking, instead of just walking, you use a skateboard. Mm-hmm. So like every time I start walking, he just pulls out a skateboard out of thin air and starts skateboarding. Well, it's kind of weird, because when you just want to walk like 2 steps, he just pulls out a skateboard and start going. So I had to turn that shit off immediately. It adds a lot of stuff. Like, you can change the gangs in the game and make them all kinds of weird shit. You can add stuff. It's really cool. Like the Gentleman of the Row mod. You can make some of the stores that are not that you normally can't use. You can actually open that store up and be able to buy stuff that you weren't able to buy before. Like all kinds of weird stuff, but you have to download Gentlemen of the Row. You have to run the little program. It's like a DOS program. And then it makes the save for you with all of the things that you wanted to add to the game. And then you copy that into your folder.
Right.
So it's a little weird. So me personally, I thought that buying Saints Row 2 on the PC was going to be awesome. Because at the time, you could not get it on backwards compatibility on the Xbox One. Well, as of like 2 weeks ago, you can. So because you can, unless you want to play with keyboard and mouse, or unless you drive with the face buttons naturally, there's no reason to buy the PC version, because the PC version is the worst version of that game. And if you don't have the Gentlemen of the Row mod, the game is damn near unplayable. Frame rate issues like crazy until you install the mod. So yeah, I was having way too many issues with that game. And then I read about Gentlemen of the Row. I thought it was going to fix my problems, and it fixed all of my problems except for one, which was the controller profile. So I stopped playing. Now, but the fucked up part about it is I don't own a 360 copy of Saints Row 2. I played it, I rented it, I played it, I sent it back, but I own a PS3 version that I can't use because my PS3 doesn't work.
But you could probably get one from GameStop for super cheap, right?
It's like $7, but if I buy it digitally on the Xbox, it's $9. But I don't know if I want to spend $8 to $10 on Saints Row 2. You know what I'm saying?
Well, if you really want to play it, then it's well worth $8 to $10 if you're actually going to play through the whole game, because it's a fairly long game.
That's my issue. I don't know when I'm gonna have time to play, and that's also the problem that I'm having right now, because it seems the Steam sale started, and like most of my wish list is on sale. Some of it is really good sales, but I want to buy this stuff. I want to buy some of it. There's about 8 games that I would like to buy, but I have no fucking idea when I'm going to actually play them.
Oh, yeah, you can get a Steam link for like $2.
It's $2.50, and Amazon spoiled me, and the shipping is like $8, and I'm like, do I really want to pay $8 for shipping?
Right, but you're getting it for $2 when you would have been getting it for $50.
Yeah, because on Amazon that thing is $49 and some change.
Right.
That was the first thing I thought about, was the Steam link. Because remember, it was that cheap a while ago, but it came with a game of some sort. And I was like, I don't really want to buy this game. I just want the fucking Steam link. Now I kind of want the Steam link, because now with that I can play. I can play Killing Floor PC, which is my preferred place to play. I can play Killing Floor PC on my TV without having to, I have a big fucking desktop now. So now I don't have to lug the fucking desktop over to my TV, because they're not close together anymore. And my daughter has the Alpha, which plugs into a TV. So I don't have to do that anymore. So I really considered the Steam link. I put it in my cart, but, it said that there's going to be delays, but I could be delayed a little bit on that. I'm cool. So I think I'm going to pull the trigger on the Steam link.
Cool.
But yeah, there's a bunch of stuff I would like to purchase, but I have no idea when I'm actually going to play it, because I don't get to play the games that I have now. I barely played anything in the past week. Like, to be honest, I'm asking myself the question, what did you play in the past week? I can't think of anything. Did you play something?
Yeah, I've been playing through Mass Effect. I finished Mass Effect 1, and I'm on the Mass Effect 2.
Did you do the right thing and not do all the extra shit?
I did all the extra shit, but I finished it up and went on the 2.
Did you use a New Game Plus when you played? Or did you start fresh?
Yeah, I started fresh.
Ew. No one wants to start fresh. Like,
well, I played on PC. I haven't played it on PC yet.
Okay, fine.
Next time I'd play a New Game Plus.
Absolutely, because like playing on New Game Plus, especially one is the best game to play on New Game Plus. Why is that? I'm asking you the question. Why is New Game Plus the best way to play on Mass Effect 1?
Because of the space bitches.
Exactly. Because of the space bitches. Because leveled up space bitches is awesome. Awesome. Because all you got to do, no matter what class you got. I mean, usually I'm a Vanguard. So to have someone that's like way biotic, have someone that's way tech, and have them leveled up, especially Liara Singularity, is the best thing ever. Is the best thing ever. Like, I can't even explain to you how awesome it is to just have leveled up space bitches and you just walk into a room and shit just starts flying. And you ain't even press a button yet. Just everything is just going to shit and you're just watching it like, this is beautiful fuckery. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
That is amazing. I love that shit. Yeah. I love that shit so much. And I have not played one in quite some time, but now I kind of want to. I really want to play Andromeda again because I did a game night playing some Andromeda multiplayer, and it really made me want to play the game again. So I'm like champing at the bit in order to play some more Andromeda. I want to play that again.
Yeah, I was thinking about getting it for PC if it goes on sale because I want to see what it looks like on the PC. Every game, I'm like,
the PC version of Mass Effect Andromeda looks fantastic. I seen some gameplay that was captured gameplay on PC, and it looks phenomenal. And I'm not even a graphics whore in that way. Not like Ace, but it looks fantastic. It looks like a completely different game. It really does. Like there's a lot going for it. But you know what? I'm really thinking about possibly. I'm thinking about possibly getting Origin Access. So
yeah,
I can play that, and I can play a bunch of other stuff. But I kind of want to get Origin Access for my daughter because she wants to play some Sims 3 stuff. So that, I put all this money into Sims 4, and she's like, I want to play the Sims 3. And I'm like, what the fuck? I just put all this money in 4. But she wants to play a add-on to the Sims 3. So I think it's kind of silly, personally, but she wants to play, and oh well. If she does it, she's using her money for it, so don't matter to me, right?
Right.
But yeah, I'm a full-time dad again.
Nice.
Until about Labor Day, I'm a full-time dad again. I went to Baltimore this weekend, and I don't know what the hell happened, but my phone has not been right since. It just like I listened to music being streamed to my phone the whole way there. When I got there, I tried to connect to the hotel Wi-Fi, and my phone has not been working right since. So much of the time, I didn't even have Wi-Fi. I couldn't navigate anywhere at all. Like my girl had to pull it up on her phone because she's on a different network than me. But I don't know what's going on with my phone. Like, there's times where I don't have service here, and I never had any problems with service until I got to that hotel. And it's bothering the shit out of me. I don't know whether, when I try to connect to the hotel Wi-Fi, if something got downloaded to my phone, maybe I need to do a hard reset on everything. I don't know what's going on. Like, sometimes I have service, sometimes I don't. But most of the time when I was in Maryland, I had nothing. Absolutely fucking nothing. And that shit just bothered the fuck out of me. I don't know what the hell happened. I really don't. And I was like looking it up online, and there was nothing there, and I just don't know what's happening right now with my phone. So, I mean, I wanted a new phone for quite some time. I don't really have the money for it right this second. I mean, I could just go get something. It's not really that hard, and it's not really that expensive. I have the money, but I need to put that money in other places right now. But this is blowing me back. Like, it's really bothering the fuck out of me right now. Everything was working fine. I was streaming all the way there. The moment I tried to connect to that Wi-Fi, I've had nothing but issues with connections with my phone. So, what'd you do this weekend? It was Father's Day. I spent my Father's Day in Maryland, going to a camp and playing around doing stuff and hurting my back playing basketball with my daughter. How was yours?
It was good. We just kind of hung around the house and ate some food and played some Mass Effect and did the thing, you know. But yeah, that's pretty much what it was.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I mean, mine wasn't that bad. I spent a lot of it in the car driving because I didn't realize, like, I was going to a camp, it was like a camp, for like a thing, for my daughter because it was connected to her, Girl Scouts stuff. So I didn't realize until I actually put the address in my phone that the camp is damn near in Pennsylvania. So like I was right outside of Baltimore where I stayed, and like I put that thing in and it was like, and it, where the camp was damn near Pennsylvania. So I had to go up and then had to come all the way back down. So it was a little crazy, but I did have an alright time. That was a cool part. I had an alright time, and at the thing, and playing basketball with my daughter was fun. I wish that the goals were a little bit lower so that she had a better time with it and she was able to shoot just fine. Now, here's the thing. I used to love playing basketball a lot. Love it. I can't shoot. I can't shoot at all. I have perfect form. I see pretty well. I can do, I can pretty much do everything. I can dribble a little bit. It's not the best, but I could do a little bit. I can't shoot to save my life. And all it was just air balls and bricks for most of the time. For most of the time, it was just air balls and bricks the whole time. I still was having fun though. But yeah, so yeah. But it was a good time. I was there with my girl and, my ex-wife, her husband and his daughter were there. I did a little bit of photo bombing, which was funny. Like they were trying to take, my ex-wife and her husband, Rob were trying to take pictures and I just kind of snuck in behind them and just started grinning. It was actually kind of fun, like doing like silly stuff like that, and like hanging out with the girls was kind of cool because I don't really get to hang around the other girl Dayla very often. So like being able to interact with them and just kind of mess with them about like life stuff and science stuff and like talking to it, having weird conversations with 10 and 11-year-olds that don't really know better, and you're just kind of making conversation just to mess with them, was pretty much the highlight of my day.
Nice.
I don't know why I got a kick out of that. I got a kick out of messing with them more than pretty much anything else. I mean, that and playing basketball with my daughter was a highlight of my day. But I really hurt my back. Like my back has not been right since. It doesn't hurt as bad now, but let me tell you, Sunday afternoon, Monday and Tuesday, I couldn't it was my upper back near my neck. I couldn't look down without being in extreme pain. So like if I could bend over, as long as my back didn't move and my neck didn't move very far, I could bend over to look down, but I couldn't look down, which is weird. Like is that like until like something like that happens, you don't realize how often you look down.
Right.
I'm way more of a keep your head up kind of guy. I don't really look down when I walk and all of that kind of stuff. Like, but like, it wasn't until my back was hurting that I realized how often I look down. But that always happens when you hurt a body part, right? Like you hurt a body part and you don't realize how often you use that body part. Like, like when like something happens in like your, like one of the sides of your pelvis hurts. And you're just like, that's okay. Like, it's perfectly fine. It's just a side. Like, I don't really use that. And then you realize how often you really do use that.
Yeah.
But it was actually pretty dope. What have you watched? We're moving through this pretty fast.
Let's see. What have I watched? There's a show on Netflix that I watched with a friend of mine. It's like this. It's a cartoon, but it seems like it probably has like a deeper story or whatnot. I think it's called The Hollow or something like, or the Shallow.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I watched one episode. It seems like these like three kids, well, like teenagers. They end up in this room and they can't remember anything. Like it starts out like a Saw movie almost, and they're trying to like find their way out and whatnot. And they finally get out, and then they still don't know where they are, and there's weird monsters and stuff, and so it seems like some sort of government experimental thing or whatnot, but it's stylized like a cartoon, like that you would like. It seems like the art style's more like the Clone Wars, but not.
So it's like digital animation.
No, I mean that's what I was about to say. It seems like the Clone Wars, but not digital animation. If that makes any sense.
Yeah,
like, it's not like,
the same kind of art style without the digitalness.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. It don't seem like it might be my thing, but some other people might actually dig it. So.
Okay. That's the only thing you watched?
Yeah, I've been playing the crap out of some Mass Effect. So I finished Mass Effect 1, pretty much did everything except for the the stuff with like find Tyrian insignias. I'm like, I'm not looking for all this stuff.
Yeah, fuck all that.
So
because it doesn't have any bearing on the rest of the other two. Like, you know what I mean?
Right. I did all like the mission to where like I'm going to go to a planet, I'm going to be fighting people. I did those type missions, and then in Mass Effect 2. Well, we lost the internet for a little bit, and I finished Mass Effect 1 without internet, so I have the DLC for Mass Effect 2, but Origin won't verify that I own the DLC without internet.
Oh.
So I must have had to just launch it once with internet, you know what I mean? So, but I pretty much tried to take it as slow as possible. I put like 30-something hours into Mass Effect 2, and now I'm at Reaper IFF, and I'm like, okay, I should probably stop and play something else until I get internet, because then I can like at least get through 2 of the DLC. Because the DLC in Mass Effect 2 is kind of post-game DLC. Like, you kind of want to do, as in the story, like Shadow Broker and Arrival seem to happen after.
No, sir. You do the Shadow Broker as soon as you possibly can, because the Shadow Broker gives you all of those planets that are rich in, you buy those little mining contract things. They give you planets that are rich in the element that you may need. That helps you out a lot, so you don't have to do a shit ton of mining.
Well, I didn't do that much mining, and I've already got like all my ship upgrades and like a bunch of the upgrades that help me with biotics and weapons and armor. Like, I'm pretty set.
Okay.
But yeah, and I've talked to everybody, the romance options for whoever I'm romancing, and the pretty much everyone's just saying the same stuff. So I'm like, I'm pretty much ready to go into IFF, but I kind of want to do the DLC first.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna wait on it. So I started playing a little bit of Borderlands, the first one. Just because I was like, I actually, because every time we get a chance to play Borderlands, it's always Borderlands 2, because why not? So I was like,
because it's a better game?
I mean, yeah, but Borderlands 1 is still really good, and it's been pretty fun to go back to old Firestone.
Yeah,
and
I think I would do a new game plus with Roland, because like the leveled up turret is amazing. Like that shit, like the leveled up turret, that like you launch your turret and then you have that ring. It gives you back bullets. It gives you back damn health and all kinds of shit when your turret is leveled up. It's fucking amazing. I miss my turrets. I love turrets in Borderlands. Sorry.
Yeah. I'm actually playing through it as Roland, because that's who I played it when I first got the game, because I was like, just go with the soldier guy, and Roland's pretty sweet, and it was really nostalgic hearing his little one-liners and stuff, like I love one of these, or something, when he brings out the fruit.
Yeah, you know what, the best thing, I think I would feel this way if I went back and played Borderlands 1. I think the best thing would be like reconnecting with those characters, because in the first game you didn't really have like a huge sense of those characters, but you had a baseline that you probably should have had more of an understanding of going into 2, because all of those people became like fully fleshed out people in 2.
Right, yeah, because that's the thing is like 1, you don't know that you're like kind of getting involved with the story until you play 2, and then you're like, actually, I am invested in these characters because
Right.
I've played with them so long. And then, because 1, there's not much of a, like when people were like, really love Borderlands, and then another game comes out, or like Destiny, we're like, there's not much story in Destiny, and I'm like, you love Borderlands, don't you? There was hardly any story in Borderlands 1. It was basically go get the vault.
Right.
That was the story, but you love that.
The DLCs did a whole lot better for that. Like General Knox is still one of my favorite DLCs of all time, because that shit was hilarious.
Oh, I don't know if it's still on sale. So if anybody wants Borderlands the Game of the Year edition on Humble Bundle, it's like $6. So it could be like even cheaper now because of I haven't looked on Steam, but yeah, that's because I actually got that on a few weeks ago because I didn't have the DLCs, and you know if you use a code for like a Game of the Year edition and you have the game but you don't have the DLC, it's just going to give you the DLC. But if you're getting it for $6, even though I the actual game kind of that I bought in that bundle kind of disappeared into nothingness.
Right.
I still got the DLC for $6. It's still a deal. Like I can't complain.
Right.
But yeah, so I got all the DLC on there, but you really don't want to do any of that DLC until you're at least, and this is the smallest number is like level 30. So
yes.
So you want to like, and that's even with like Zed. Like you want to be at least that's your first DLC. You probably going to want to play, and you got to be level 30 for that at least.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
I kind of want to play Borderlands now. Stop making me want to play games.
But that's my deal, because I'll start playing a game and I'm like, man, I should be playing this with Scar, but Scar's not on, and then I make you want to play it, and then you actually play it, and because sometimes I'm like, yeah, Killing Floor is fun,
but you don't have internet, so we can't play together.
Well, when I'm getting back less than a week, I mean, I just like the internet company. Okay, well, I took off some work for my grandma's funeral, right? So I was a little low, and I was like, I'm just going to let the internet bill, I'll just pay it next time.
You ain't supposed to tell on yourself. Just be like, you're in a dispute with your internet company, and it's off right now.
Yeah, but I am telling on myself because this is, I'm complaining about the company, because normally, if you don't go like over a month, like really like be like, like 2 bills piled up, they ain't gonna mess with you. Like 2 weeks. They were so yeah. It was an automated thing. They were like, oh, we can't do anything about it. They were like, oh, it's 45 days late, and I was like, it ain't no 45 days late. They ain't no way. It was due like 2 weeks ago. So I don't know, but they couldn't do anything for me. They was like, well, once you pay it, it come back on, because they can't even turn it back on. Like it's all automated.
Wow.
But so because I did that before, like when we lived in Four Oaks. That's when I had the other job that really wasn't paying much at all. So it like literally the second I hit like on my phone or whatever, internet's back on. It's just computer.
Yeah. My old internet is like that. I mean, the bill pretty much gets paid around here. I don't really pay it. It goes through, my girl's stuff. So I never really have to deal with that. But when I had internet at my old place, it was pretty much the same. Like they would turn the internet off, be like, oh shit, you ain't paid the bill. And the moment I paid the bill, it comes back on.
Right.
So that's cool.
I'm thinking about doing more automated stuff, because that's one of the main things. It's just sometimes you get so busy and you just forget and then whatnot. And the
majority of my bills are automated.
You're talking about how you get paid every week, or
Yep.
Was that what okay.
Every Friday.
Yeah, because I get paid every 2 weeks, but I kind of wish I got paid once a month. Like I got everything all the money that I would make in a month.
No, you don't want that.
Time.
Trust me, Brian, you don't want that. You don't want that. Because everybody who I know that gets paid once a month, they all absolutely fucking hate it. Like, they all do. Every single one of them.
What I would do is everything will be automated, and I don't have to worry about it. Because I got paid once every week one time. And I hated that because I didn't see it like, wow, I'm getting paid every week. I saw it as, I got half my paycheck. I kind of need the whole thing. Because I was so used to getting paid. Like, say you get paid $800. Instead of getting paid $800 and you get to do some stuff with, you just get $400, and you're like, I can't hardly do anything with this. I have to wait another week and get another $400.
No, okay, so first of all, my bills aren't that much. Like, to be honest. If we're being honest, my bills aren't that much. I pay a little bit more now because I was paying Section 8 prices when I had the apartment before by myself. So this isn't really Section 8 prices, but my bills aren't really that much. The cool thing about getting paid every week is, like, say I want to do something grand and I kind of blow through my money. Well, I can blow through my money on Wednesday, and guess what? I get paid again in 2 days. Like, that's the cool part about, you know what I mean? Like, and that's kind of what I did yesterday. Like, I went shopping, I went grocery shopping and stuff, because of course we didn't do that because we were in fucking Baltimore this weekend, and now I have my daughter with me, and there's stuff that I have to buy for her and all of this other stuff. So we went shopping yesterday because, Monday and Tuesday was hot as fuck around here. Oh my God. It was like, like the South was the space in between the earth and the sun. Like, that's how fucking hot it was. But, but so we waited until Wednesday when it kind of cooled down a little bit. And so I went shopping and I spent a little bit more than I expected to, but it's okay because I get paid again tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? We're recording this on Thursday. I get paid again tomorrow.
Like, get your head around it. I mean, if I got used to it, I would probably like get used to it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But you think about the once a month thing. I would get like $1,500 to $1,600, and then I can just like get all my bills paid, and I wouldn't have to worry about them. And then I would have to be more responsible. Be like, I'm not going to get money until 30 days from now, but I would have a lot more money at one time.
Yeah, but see, what would happen to me is if I got paid once a month, right? And let's just say I got paid on the 1st. By the 15th, I would be struggling because I'm very bad with this. Like, I'm really terrible at this. Like, trying to, I'm pretty good about managing my money, but like, when I was getting paid every 2 weeks, by mid-second week before the paycheck, I was struggle-tastic. Like, absolutely struggle-tastic. So I know for a fact I can't do once a month. I can't have that responsibility. If I had that responsibility where I have to make sure I take care of everything off of one paycheck, I would be struggle-tastic by the 15th.
So you wouldn't, like, if there was a thing to where you got paid once a year to where you got, $20,000 on the 1st of January, and you had to and you could pay all your bills for that whole year off, to where you didn't have to pay any bills for that year.
But see, here's the problem. Like, the bills aren't the problem. The bills aren't the problem. Like, I would be able to, if I was in that position, I would pay my bills in advance. The problem is where I start spending like on random shit. Like, I decide I want Chinese food today. And then if I order the Chinese food, if I order and have it delivered, then I have to order extra food because they won't do it if I just buy one fucking lunch special. So they won't even deliver it for that. So I got to buy extra fucking food. If I order something through Uber, they add a $5 charge and then ask me for a fucking tip. Like, like this type, but I'm reckless with that kind of stuff. Like, I decide, I decide
food is hard. To me, food is hard. It's not because it's like, it's hard to budget out for food because food's like going shopping. It's like going to the store. Of course, it's not. But you have to treat going to it's like treating going to GameStop like a bill. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So it would be great if Amazon or there was some service that was affordable. You know what I mean? That you could just like have your food be a bill to where you have all the meals that you would have for that month. For even if it was like $200, you can budget that out. But when it's like trying to like,
I wish my food bill was for the month was $200.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like an affordable bill to like, because if it was like a lot more than that, then it would be, I don't know. But because I would totally do like a mailing food thing, not because I'm too lazy to go shopping, but because
it'll help you keep track of it.
Yeah, so you can, like on a money thing. Because going shopping at the store, you'll spend like a whole bunch of money on food, and then it'll go back. Like if you get a whole bunch of food, like you'll either get really hungry and eat half your shit, or like it'll go bad before you can even eat it. Because if you stock up on a bunch of stuff, like I'm gonna stock up on freaking this, and then you feel bad for like having food that's like you have to throw away, but you can't eat it fast enough. If you like, if I make a big huge pot of spaghetti, because we try to cook like that to where like meals that will last a while in the refrigerator or whatnot. But sometimes you just get tired of spaghetti and then like it'll go bad. Like and then you feel bad because you feel like you're wasting freaking money. But then you just made freaking like 2 gallons of spaghetti for like $12. So then you can't feel that bad because like if you went out to eat for $12, it'd be a lot less food than that.
Yeah, that's for me. That's lunch. That's not like what you would spend on that. That's lunch for me. Like it is not unheard of. Like here's the bad part about getting paid every week. Because your next paycheck is coming in a few days, you're more likely to do something stupid. Because you know that you have that backup of getting paid in a couple of days. So I would do something like really reckless, like Tuesday or Wednesday, go to Dollar E-Juice Club and spend $60 on juice, most of which I don't need. I could just get the things that I like and be done with it, spend $30 and be alright. But then I could just go like, well, I'm gonna get paid in a couple of days, so I could spend this $60 real quick. And then just do dumb shit like that. That's the bad part that's the bad part about getting paid every week. You are tempted to do dumb shit because your next paycheck is a couple of days away always.
Right. Not realizing that the $60 that you're about to spend is part of what you're about to get.
Right. And then here's the worst part about that. Like I would spend $60 in Dollar E-Juice Club and then realize that Dollar E-Juice Club doesn't sell Thug Juice, which lately has been fucking terrible. All of the Thug Juice is terrible. I think I spoke about this before, but they changed the formula for Thug Juice, and everybody's Thug Juice is terrible. I was gonna try to order from Get Wrecked because they have it also, but Get Wrecked is gone away because they got sued by Wrigley's. I think I spoke about that before too.
Yeah.
So Thug Juice is terrible. Like my favorite all day vape is fucking garbage right now. And the more I think about it, the more it pisses me off. We'll see.
So this is the Mo Money, Mo Problems podcast with Finger and Awakening Agent.
No, it's not a Mo Money, More Problems situation for me because it's not like I get paid that much more than I used to. I just get it. I just get some of it every Friday. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's the only difference. Is I get paid every Friday, and it's not like I get paid that much more. And now I've been there for 3 months. Now I have insurance, and the insurance is fucking ridiculous. And why does insurance cost so much? And then it costs so much for me to have insurance, right?
It's because your people, like if you move to a different area, your insurance rates will vary because you pay more because the people around you can't drive.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about health insurance.
Oh, well, maybe.
That just reminded me I do need to pay for my car insurance, which, yeah, I don't, yeah. About that. But health insurance is so fucking expensive, right? It's expensive for me to have health insurance. Then, like, all of my copays and shit cost more money. So why the fuck am I spending this much for the insurance in the first place? If all of my copays are ridiculous. Like, if I go see the doctor, like, even before anybody does anything, I already got to pay him $50.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, $50 fucking dollars?
Like, cause your money that you're paying for the health insurance isn't really going to your thing. It's going to the pool to help everybody else. So when people like complain about universal health care and stuff like that, be like, I don't want my taxes to go to other people's stuff. Well, the money that you're paying for health insurance, that's exactly what it's doing.
Yeah.
Because you have health insurance and pay that health insurance if you're not sick at all. Like, you might not be sick that whole year and not ever have to go to the doctor, but you're still paying health insurance. Why? Because it's going, so it's either you're having to pay it out of your paycheck and having to like scrounge up the money to pay it, or it just takes in out of your taxes and you don't have to worry about this shit.
And then here comes the worst shit about having health insurance. All right, so I have health insurance now. They've sent me my cards and all of that stuff, right? I am pretty much out of my medicine. So that means I have to go to a doctor and pay that doctor $50 just so they can write something on a piece of paper to tell someone else I can pay them too. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. Right. I gotta pay $50 just so someone can tell someone else that I can pay them also.
Right. Like, just think about this. Like, what if your rent, all your bills and everything, all that stuff was paid through gets taken out of your paycheck through your taxes. You get paid like $200 on your paycheck every 2 weeks, but you don't have to worry about bills. You don't have to worry about rent. You don't have to worry about shit. You knowing that $200 that you got paid is just, it don't have to go to anything. That's kind of like
that's what my rent was. When I was living in Newport News and I had my apartment through my job. My money came out automatically. For my first two checks, it was split. My rent was $600. So like, by the time I get my check, that $300 for the first two checks was already gone. I never had to think about it. So, and I don't pay any light bill or anything like that, because I live on site of the job, they pay all that shit. I just pay my rent. So what I was doing and what my girlfriend does now is just basically the same idea. It automatically comes out of her checks. She never has to think about it. The only thing she has to pay is like the stuff outside of rent and all of that kind of stuff. I'm telling you, when it automatically comes out, you never think about it and you never miss it. The only time you even think about it is the 2 times a year where you get 3 checks in a month and your third check doesn't have any rent taken out of. That's the only time you think about it. You're like, holy shit, I got a 3-check month. So that last check, I don't get any rent taken out. That's awesome.
Yeah, I love those 3-check months because how I see it, I mean, I guess it's the wrong way to see it, but how I see it is that I got 1 paycheck that ain't got to go to anything because I already budgeted for 2 paycheck months. So when it's a 3 paycheck month, next month there's going to be 2 paychecks just like every other month. So that third paycheck is like extra money.
It's kind of not. When you pay rent normally, that 3-check month doesn't really help you as much because that third check you have to put on your rent because by the time your first check of next month comes through, you're already going to be past the 5 days or so to pay your rent.
Well, yeah, or the first paycheck is your free month. Your third paycheck is your rent one.
Yeah, something. Yeah, I mean, you still get a freebie, but something. But it never fails. Like something always happens, and you don't really get to devote all 3 checks to what you wanted to be in a month.
Right.
Like you feel that way until you actually receive them.
So I don't know. I always like October because it's starting to get a little cooler, but it's not like quite freezing. So.
And there's a bunch of games out around that time too.
Yeah.
That's when the games really start coming out. Like the season starts pretty much in September, but like October is really where it really starts popping, and then October and the beginning of November is where it really pops.
Yeah, Call of Duty started that shit because at one time it was just November and December, but Call of Duty started coming out in October, and they're like trying to get ahead of everybody.
Yeah, but most of them come out in November though.
Right.
Most of the time it's November. But man, we really rambled through this whole show.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like anybody that I'm like talking to that I'm like, hey, you guys want to play some Left 4 Dead? And they're like, I don't think I got that. There's no excuse. Like you right, every like sale, like right now, you can get Left 4 Dead 1 and 2 for $2 and some change.
I have two on PC.
I have Left 4 Dead on Steam.
I have 2 on PC, but I do not. I don't think I have 1. And I've never played 2 on PC.
Dude, it's like I just assume that if you have Steam, you have the Left 4 Dead games because they're always like so freaking like all the Valve games. Like you can get the Valve bundle to where you have every Valve game for like $13 on the sale. I'm like, there's because
yeah, it's cool. I dig that. There's a bunch of like city builders and stuff like that I want to buy. The Jurassic Park builder game, not the park builder, that's like the mobile game. The Jurassic Park game is out. And it looks really good. Like I really want to play that game, but I don't really, because it's on PC, I don't really want to spend $55.
Right. Cause that's the thing about the Steam sales, cause if there's a game that just came out like right before the sale, it's probably not going to be included in the Steam sale.
Which sucks. It really does suck, but oh well. Left 4 Dead is $2. Yes. And you can get the Left 4 Dead bundle, which has 1 and 2. Now, the question is, does it have the DLC, though?
Yeah, they all have the DLC, because I have them.
Okay, yeah, because
like
one is the game of the Left 4 Dead 1 is the Game of the Year edition. I might add this to my cart. But you know what? They actually adjusted the bundle price because I already have 2. That's interesting.
Because they'll like if there's these big bundles, like say it's a Fallout bundle, and you already have Fallout 3 and 4, you'll get the other ones for like it'll be the same rate as the regular bundle. It'll just minus out those games, so you can still get the bundle without having to buy everything.
That's cool. That's cool. This is one of the reasons why I like Steam. Now, unlike some people, I don't believe that Steam is without its flaws.
Right, because this one, like Rojas was bringing this up too, to where like people like hate Origin or be like, oh man, Ubisoft's thing. Oh man, I don't want to install another client. And I'm like, that's it, just install another client. It's a good thing. It's a good thing for us. Like you don't want one company being the only store to buy PC games. Like that would be like saying, you know, Walmart is the only place to buy games. And then GameStop comes around and they're like, fuck GameStop. Man, I buy my stuff at Walmart. That's just, when you take it out of that digital framework, it sounds silly.
It does. It really does.
So, I mean, I know Steam's awesome, but it's kind of a good thing that, you know, there's other stores that, and they have sales too. They might not be as crazy as the Steam sales, but I mean, cause like GOG, I mean, is really good. And it, only thing with that is, I mean, you can still re-download your stuff, but it's, DRM free. So you can like, you just kind of have the game and it's not really associated with an account. So you can like just take the game and burn it on a DVD if you wanted to. I don't know. I've never did that, but
yeah, never. I would never do such a thing at all.
Unless you're like, you know, trying to sell them. But that's a thing of the past. Like, cause nobody's going to like, you'd be like, hey guys, you want these burnt video games? You're like, why did I get that? Cause I can just get them for like $2 on Steam.
Yeah. I think it's the Apple effect on games. Because, you know, back in the day, we would just download a whole bunch of music and shit and just be like, fuck it. But when Apple made it easier to just buy what you want and just say, fuck the rest, that's when like downloads and eventually streaming ended up working out for people, because it's easier for me to just buy the songs that I want, as opposed to having to buy a whole fucking album of songs that I may not want because I just like this one song. Like I put, like, you know, what's the those dudes who made that Butterfly song?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
The Come My Lady, Come My Lady.
Oh yeah.
I really liked that song at the time. It was, you know, it was a cool song for its time. It's kind of stupid now, but like, I bought that whole album. The rest of the album is fucking trash. Like, it is fucking trash. But I only like that one song, and this is before you could just buy that one song because you wanted to. Like, and I'm so glad that I don't have to do that anymore. Like, I don't have to, like, I don't have to buy the whole Hollywood Undead album because of that one song that was on Rock Band that I like playing on Rock Band. You know what I mean? Like
the Hollywood Undead album, that band's terrible.
It is. They are terrible, but I like that one song that was on Rock Band that I got in a pack somewhere. And then I got the whole album, and it's horrible. I mean, it is. Oh my God, it's bad. Like, it's so bad. But I did that so much back in the day. Like, I used to have a lot of CDs. And like, I would have like the whole CD or something, and it's just like, I only really like this one song. Why did I buy this whole thing?
Right. Yeah. I mean, I guess I'm different to where like there's not many things that I just like one song from that I'm like actually interested in. So like if I bought like say Deftones and I only bought like one song off the album, it would bug me that like even on my iTunes or whatever I'm using for listening to it, it would bug me that there's an album with like 2 songs on it. You didn't know, instead of I don't know, I like everything organized when it comes to music.
Right.
But that's the cool thing about Spotify and stuff, because you can just like, because I did making playlists because sometimes I don't want to just listen to one band. Not that I don't like the whole album. It's just that I'll make a playlist, and sometimes they'll be themed after certain feelings or like moods or whatever or whatnot, and you'll listen to it and you won't get tired because it'll be something different every time.
Right.
But because you just but it's kind of cool sometimes when you do find that band that or artist that you like that one song, and then you find out that the rest of the album's really good too. So that happens too. That happened a lot in the 90s. There's a lot of one-hit wonders that were like really big because of that one song, but they're actually like a really kind of independent band.
Right.
And then you find out that the rest of those albums like actually really good, and nobody even knew it because they just see them as that one band, that one song.
It's the Crackdown effect, I say.
Yeah.
You know, people bought Crackdown because it had the Halo 3 beta in it. Like, originally you couldn't get the beta unless you had that game. So most people bought it just for that, so they could play Halo 3 early. And then, you know, there was masses and masses of people returning those. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, is that in a music form where you couldn't really return it unless you had like a warehouse of music or something around?
Dude, I thought it'd be really funny if Crackdown 3 came with the beta code for Halo Infinite.
Bruh, we were talking about that. We talked about that in the E3 coverage, during the E3 coverage, which I kind of dug E3. Like, I didn't watch everything. I now realize after the fact, after watching one person's recap, I need to watch the Devolver Digital press conference. Because
that one I didn't watch either. There is like one game that I am interested in from that I did hear about, because it was only released in Japan and it's completely retardedly stupid. But sorry for saying the R word. But
yes, you know what I was getting ready to say.
Yeah, but it's basically like you play as the president of the United States, and you're like in mech suit, and it's like American patriotism, but told by Japan. And it's really stupid, but it hasn't been released here before, and I'm actually pretty excited
give it a try just because it just seems like a really fun.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
Funny. But that one was on. That they actually did that presser during another presser because it really wasn't like on any of the giant bombs or anything like that. So
yeah, the cool thing that I saw with the little piece that I saw was their press conference was basically a spoof of the others.
That sounds like.
Which makes it so I want to watch that. I will go back and watch that. I did not watch it at the time. I don't really even know any of their games offhand, but I will watch that because if it's a spoof of the others, that couldn't be anything more than fun. And that's what we needed more this E3, especially at Sony. It's more fun.
Yeah, they're a very niche developer and publisher. They're not for everybody, but if you're looking for something unique, they're definitely a pretty good place to look because they find some really off the wall shit to like publish, and they'll give some. They're kind of an artist publisher to where they'll give people a chance, and it will. Sometimes it'll be some really interesting stuff. Sometimes it'll be shit, but they don't really care. Their goal is to get the shit out. And to where it's not going to be the same. Because that's the thing. Like some of these games and stuff look awesome, like the Tomb Raiders and stuff. But then when I step back from it, I'm like, well, AAA is really fun, but sometimes it's still just Tomb Raider. Like I played 2 of them and I really like them, but it's you know what I mean. So sometimes it's kind of cool to play something kind of niche, a little something different.
Absolutely. All right. Hopefully, at some point, I'll get to play some games. I probably should be able to get to play a little bit this weekend. There's so much stuff that I need to catch up on, and there's so much stuff that I need to play that I have no idea how I'm going to have all of the time. Especially now that I'm a full-time dad, I usually fall asleep way earlier than I used to.
Right. Yeah.
Which sucks. Like I'm just like, ugh. So yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and wrap this up. I have no idea what I'm actually going to call this because I haven't been writing down any titles.
I haven't been writing down any titles. Show title.
Correct. So do the shouty thing.
Yeah, shout out Rojas again because, it was really fun. I was actually on another podcast that I almost forgot about. He messaged me on Discord. He was like, so you good for 9 o'clock? I was like, 9 o'clock? Oh, yeah. So I was on a podcast with him on Gaming History X and another guy named Chase. So there was 2 Chases on that. And so he was trying to like make it a way to where he can, when he's talking, like us know who he's talking to. But every time like he would mess up and just say Chase. And we were both like,
why didn't he just call you Heathen?
Yeah, that's what I was like. Just call me Heathen. Call him, Night Cleaner or whatnot. And he was still like, say Chase. But yeah, it was fun. Like that, that was a post E3 thing, so that was the longest podcast I've ever done. I think we podcast for like 3 hours that night. I don't know if
I used to do 3-hour podcasts on the regular.
Yeah, Dream Team used to be that long, wasn't it?
Yes, very much so.
But yeah, but it was a good show. I really enjoyed it, and I wasn't even drinking. I was still a little, because it went pretty late, and I was like, you get kind of tired drunk.
Yes, I've been there. Especially on the Dream Team. Yes, I've been there.
But because you get a little it's like the tiredness makes you a little. I don't want to say sassy because that's kind of lady, but I don't know the manly version of kind of
snippy,
I guess. But yeah.
What?
So yeah. Oh, Future Monkeys. They just had their last episode, which is kind of out of the blue for me. So a lot of the podcasts that I enjoy listening to are, I mean, they're just like us. So they get busy and
more time for the Dream Team, yo.
More time for the Dream Team. More time for freaking Major Linux's 3-hour podcast of the Seinfeld podcast. That podcast, they don't talk about anything. Like after the podcast, I'm like, what did they talk about? But I enjoyed every bit of it. I don't know. It's like
I don't think you've ever heard the first podcast that he was on with Tyrone and Tamika, Man, that was just super random. It wasn't even like, tech or game specific. It was just randomness.
Yeah, that's pretty much how Nacho Friends is. So,
I'm so behind on podcasts. It really sucks sometimes. I really would like to be able to get to everyone's podcast, but I can't.
Well, I mean, you literally can't, because like right now, I'm like, at one time I was like trying to be like, okay, these podcasts are this day, but after a while, it's like they start bleeding over to the next week, and I'm like, when I have more than one of the same podcast in my playlist, I'm like, okay, I've got too many podcasts. But I like to support everybody's podcast, but then when you look at your podcast and playlist and you click on the how long the playlist is, and it's like 24 hours long, you're like, man, I'm listening to a lot of people talking.
Absolutely. So, yeah. I didn't get to say I finished Life Unexpected. It kind of okay. So
was it unexpected?
It was just kind of weird because I guess they knew that the show was being canceled. So on the very last episode, they you get to the end of what the conflict was, and then they jump forward 2 years, and then it's basically one scene. But so much had changed over those 2 years that all you're left with is a whole bunch of questions that'll never get answered. Like people who were together aren't together. People who, are, were with someone else. Like everybody's there because at the end it jumps ahead to her graduation. The main chick's graduation. So it jumps to her graduation, but like people who were married are both there with someone else. And you're like, how the fuck did this happen? You know what I mean? Like, and like there's a lot of like things like that in there, and you're just left with a whole bunch of questions that'll never get answered. And that's the only part of it that really sucked. That's the only part of it that really sucked for me. I was surprised that I made it through all of that. I'm stuck watching The Flash with my girl because Supergirl had a few episodes after the fact. So it hasn't come to Netflix yet. It should be next week. But so it hasn't come to Netflix yet, and we're at a point where it's the crossover. And Supergirl starts the crossover, but we can't watch the fucking crossover until Supergirl is on Netflix.
Right.
So, because there's no, I mean, unless you use like a Fire Stick or something like that, there's no other way to do it. So, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, so, shout out to everybody and, everything. I just completely lost my train of thought there because I went on a side tangent. So, you know what? Let's just wrap this up. For the homie Chase, I'm Scarfinger. This is Scarcasm. And we're out of here. Peace out to the Warriors, yo.
Later.
I like that shit, yeah, boy. Yeah, I'm telling you, Whoa. I'm telling you. All right, I ain't gonna talk.